Congratulations, Cody.
Oh, my man, what's going on? Thank you.
How are you feeling after that one?
Exhausted, man. It was a fucking back and forth battle. So, hey, like I said today, I said my last fight in the press conference when I was sitting up here, the moment I'm in a boring fight, Dana can cut me, and I stand by that. Hopefully, I can make some money in the process. So,
Yeah, that was a banger fight. Did you expect that coming in?
100%, man. I prepared for that. I was so scared and nervous coming into this fight because I knew that it was gonna take it out of me, dude. Like, I nearly threw up back there after I came out the octagon. So I knew that Dan's that type of guy. You could hit him, 1,000 times with so many bombs, and he's just gonna keep coming forward. So, he's a strong guy, fit as, and a very good wrestler. And game as, he comes from a good team. He's had a lot of experience, and I knew that it was going to be a very tough fight. Just glad that I could get the job done, to be honest. And, he was super strong in there, but, yeah, somehow pulled it off again.
What was the game plan coming into the fight? We all know Dan is a wrestler. You fancy yourself a striker, but you are good at wrestling as well. What was the game plan?
My coach always says it, we don't try and game plan so much. Like, to be honest, we knew, excuse me, I just drank a can of Coke before, so I'm burping it all out right now. That's because I was so exhausted, right? I need a bit of sugar and caffeine just to answer these questions. I forgot what I was saying. Say the question again.
What was the game plan coming into the fight?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, so my coach always says we don't game plan necessarily, we just try to be better everywhere, and that is truly what I'm all about. So I knew that Dan, he's probably going to take me down, but I believe in my own grappling skills that I would be, 1, okay there and safe, and 2, be able to get back up to my feet, and 3, offensively wrestle back. I got him down a couple times, so I'm an all-rounder. So yeah, there's no specific game plan. I just knew that obviously I had the better hands on the feet and I had the better striking, so I knew that I would be able to capitalize in that area, but I wasn't going to be allergic to the grappling either. I jumped on his back at one point. I was looking for a choke. He did well to shrug me off, but yeah, we don't really game plan. Like, this camp, we just try to be better everywhere, and that's it. I feel like if you want to get to the top, you can't really have holes. You got to be better everywhere. And, Dan's a phenomenal wrestler, and you see him ragdoll people, and he couldn't ragdoll me tonight. So just prove to people that, hey, Aussies can wrestle too. Hence why I said to Dom, I hope you're impressed with my wrestling defense, so yeah.
Were you bummed that you snapped your 100% finish rate?
No, actually, that to me, what I just went through now means way more than a finish, because when my teammate Quillan Salkild came and had an epic fight, and he got cut up and it was a back and forth battle, I got a bit jealous because I was like, man, I want to be in one of those fights, and I want Dana to stand up and come into the octagon and say, well done, you've both got a bright future. When I won on the Contender Series, he was excited, but he didn't stand up, So I hope he watched this fight, and, if I could meet him, I would love to, so.
3 fights this year. I know you've always wanted to stay active, so obviously you're going to take some time off, but how do you feel, getting 3 fights in this year, one of them a contract, another one in the UFC?
Yeah, it's the most, active I think I've been ever in my, MMA career. So it feels really good, actually, stringing them together like that. I guess now's the time. Everyone has their time. And, I've had a few ups and downs and, injuries and illnesses and, people on the regional scene avoiding me and not fighting me. And I'm not mentioning any names, but a lot of people didn't want to fight me on the regional scene, and obviously this is why, right? But the UFC, they want to push me, and obviously they like what they saw, and I hope they like what they saw tonight, and hopefully I'll be back in, February. I hear there's a card in Australia coming up. I want to be on that one so I can bring all my fans from Australia, from Perth, because I think it's going to be in Sydney, from Perth to fly over and watch me fight and be there live in the flesh, So for my friends, like to come all the way out here to Vegas, not really feasible for them, you know. So, but a fight on Aussie soil, like, yeah, I'd blow the roof off the place. I really will. So that's a dream, and you know, hopefully they can book that for me.
Returning in February in Sydney makes all the sense in the world. Is there anybody that you like to fight, or is it just kind of line them up and you're going to go?
Man, I'm just here for a good time. I don't know what's going on, man. Like, fuck, I got signed to this promotion like 7 weeks ago, dude. It's just surreal. I don't even know what's going on right now. So I just gotta, yeah, like, I'm not the type of person to call people out. I feel like every bantamweight in the UFC, they're here for a reason. They're all great fighters. You know, I don't hate anyone, or I'm not trying to pick out people. Just give us a name. I'll most likely say yes. And it'll be a banger on my behalf. I'll bring a fight to anyone. So, yeah, whatever they want to do with me, yeah, I mean, they'll speak to my manager and be in contact, but we never turn down any fight, you know. I want to be the best, and I want to fight the best, and that's why I'm fighting in the best MMA organization. So, yeah.
And finally, for me, 7 weeks is a quick turnaround, man. So when they offer you the fight, was there any hesitancy, or was it just like, fuck it, let's go?
There's always hesitancy, man. I was in holiday mode, enjoying fucking Disneyland and shit. And then they're like, Jazz, my manager called me on the last day, and I was enjoying myself with my girlfriend. And then, oh, you got to fight. You know, they want you to fight in 6 weeks' time or whatever. And I was like, oh, here we go again, you know, and just like drop down my Coke or whatever I was drinking, and it's just like back to it, back home and back on the grind, you know. So, but hey, it all paid off. So, yeah, just grateful to be here. And yeah, I always get super nervous, you know. This was the real test, you know. It's like the Contender Series is great, but it is not the UFC. This is the UFC, and you know, I clearly have just shown now that I deserve to be here. And yeah, I surprised myself, to be honest, you know. So, yeah, I'm just looking forward to whoever they want to match me up with next, and I'll always go out there and put on a show.
I know this was technically your UFC debut, but did it feel any different because it's the same venue, the same process, not that long ago? Did it feel like a UFC debut, or do you think that when you have a full venue, that's when it's going to really feel real?
It felt, yeah, it just felt like, I think it did feel like the debut, but I reckon the Contender Series was way more stress. Like, I was way more nervous for that. Like, for this is like, I just wasn't letting myself get stressed about it, because when I came over from the Contender Series, you know, it's the same hotel you all stay in. It's the same shuttles that take you to the fight, and it's, you know, all the people. And, you know, having done that 7 weeks ago, it's Apex, the same arena. You know, now it just feels like it was my second fight in the UFC, you know, because it's all the same essentially, you know. But they looked after me a bit better this time. I'm wearing Venom gear, and it got given to me. Like, I don't know what the fuck's going on right now. I'm like, how am I wearing this shit? I would have to buy this stuff at home. It's like, now I'm getting it given to me. This is just wild, you know. So, yeah, I hope that answers the question, yeah.
And it has your name on it, too. It's not just stuff you can buy in the store.
I know. Well, I always wear white shorts because my plan is to get my opponent's blood on them and then be like, look at this, they're pink now. And it was that guy's blood. But these shorts have got my own blood on it. So, I mean, maybe they'll sell for more now. They got my DNA on here, you know. So if I become champ, it's like, these will go for a couple 100,000, you know. So, yeah.
What about that knee? Were you surprised he didn't go down with that knee? Because I think we were all very surprised.
I was just surprised I threw a knee, because I don't really throw knees, man. Like, I just throw hands. But yeah, it was like, I didn't even realize I really hit him with it, you know, to be honest. It was, I was like getting stapled up back there, and then they were like, I was like, oh, did I land a knee? And they were like, yeah, you wobbled him with it. But I felt like I wobbled him with everything. It didn't even matter. Like, he just fought wobbled the whole time, you know. So yeah, he's like tough fighter, and he brought it, and you could hit that guy with a sledgehammer, he probably wouldn't go down. So, yeah, maybe I'll bring that next time.
And I got to ask, like, your opponent missed weight by quite a bit. You know, what were your thoughts when you saw that? Did he offer any explanation? Do you feel like there should be harsher punishments? What are your thoughts on opponents missing weight? I've
been joking a lot, but I feel very strongly about this, so I'll try to be a bit more serious. I feel like yeah, no disrespect to my opponent or nothing like that, but there needs to be harsher penalties for missing weight. I feel like it's completely unfair on the other fighter, and I think like it's just a big stigma that in this sport especially, so many guys try to have such a weight advantage over their opponents to the point where it just becomes unfair. I make 135 pounds because I know I can make it. I could make flyweight, but well, to be honest, I don't think I could make flyweight. That's the truth. Or if I did, I'd probably hospitalize myself in the process. And therefore, I don't try. You know, if I know that it's way too beyond possible, I'm not going to do it. But I don't know why some of these fighters do that. And to be honest, the repercussions aren't like enough. Like, yeah, I'm very grateful that I'll be getting 20% of his purse. However, some fighters would risk losing 20% of their purse to win a fight if that means they could, like, let's just say, for instance, I miss weight and then I have to give up 20% of my purse, but then I KO the guy and I get like a $50,000 bonus of knockout of the night. Does 20% of your purse matter when you just got $50,000? No. So there's just needs to be a way more harsher punishment. Like, I'm not telling them how to run it, you know. They've obviously, like, I just got here, like I said before, I don't know what's going on, but it makes sense to me that it should be like 1 strike you're out or 2 strike you're out. It's like, you miss weight, you know, and I've heard that this is not the first time that he's had problems with his weight. So I don't know why they book him at bantamweight if he can't make the limit. Like, yes, sometimes you do the calculations and you do the cut wrong, but if it's a reoccurring thing, like I don't know if he missed weight before, but I've heard that he's always had problems with it. If it's a reoccurring thing, like, don't book the guy there. He's obviously too big for the division. He can't make it. And then, therefore, there should be harsher repercussions for not making it. Because, like I said before, some fighters are willing to give up 20% of their purse just to get a victory over someone. So, yeah, I mean, I hope I don't miss weight now because I look stupid.
Did you feel that weight in there with him? Some people say, oh, he felt stronger than my other opponents have. Did you feel anything like that?
Yeah, he felt real strong. Yeah, 100%. And I'm not a big bantamweight. You know, a lot of people say, oh, he looks quite small, you know, but he did feel super strong in there, that's for sure. But skills win, skills pay the bills, and I've got the skills to still, like, do it. Even if these guys are bigger than me, stronger than me, it doesn't matter because this is an MMA fight at the end of the day, and, you know, skills triumph everything else. So, yeah, I'm just grateful for that.
And now you got 2 checks for the night, so you're gonna make up for that lost day at Disneyland or Disney World, wherever you were. You're gonna make up for that day of not getting to eat all that you wanted.
Yeah, well, hopefully I get a few more checks because that was a pretty exciting fight, and I hope I get the fight of the night because that's the money that will really bring out, as they say, the red panties. So, I just hope that I hope that I've done enough to get that.
I hope so as well. Congrats on your win.
Thank you. Appreciate it, brother.
Just a quick one for me. Tremendous win. Unbelievable cardio from the sprawls, which were there, the pressure that probably broke him, and the head body stuff and just those looping. It was like watching like a Diaz brother operate, man. Wow. Like, what is your training like to go such hard 15 minutes? That was a pleasure.
Man, like, the reason why I said when Alex asked me here, what was your immediate reaction when they told you have a fight? I got nervous, you know, not necessarily for the fight, but for the bullshit that I'm going to have to go through in the training room to get to this fight. And that, without going through that bullshit, I wouldn't have been able to push a pace like that. So when at my gym, when they say, hey, it's fight time, you know, when one person's in camp, everyone's in camp. And fuck, man, like, the sessions, the way we push ourselves in that room is just unbelievable. Like, I've trained for a very long time, and this is by far the hardest training that I've done in a training room before. So that's hats off to our coach. And hey, fighting is 90% cardio. You got to be super fit. And I knew Dan was super fit. He's known for his cardio, and I believe tonight I possibly out cardioed the cardio guy. You know, so and he's bigger than me and stronger than me. So what's that saying? You know what I mean? So hats off to my coach, Ramel Luistro, and everyone at Luistro Combat Academy. You know, we're bred different there, and honestly, like when it's fight camp time, I get anxious just to go to training because we really push ourselves in that training room, and I guess you guys got to see tonight my ticker, you know, on display. So yeah.
Well, that's awesome, man. Obviously, I understand now what you mean, and I'm not surprised. In the words of Nate, congrats on the win, Red Panty Night, sir.
Thank you. All good. Thank you, guys.